folks, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this right here is our top 5 games we love to teach. And there are a number of different reasons why we may have chosen to put these games on this list, but generally speaking, it is in the title.
Because we like to teach them.
We just enjoy teaching them.
Yep.
That's the long and the short of it. Now, one thing that we didn't really talk about on the other one is what went into the hierarchy of how did number 10 get to number 10, and then why is number 9 higher than that? Was there a thought process for that for you?
Mine just straight off of which one I like to teach the most.
The most. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Whenever I choose these lists, I always break them into top and bottom first before I actually put them in order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. And the bottom, then I put the bottom ones in order, and then I put the top ones in order. That way. So there's a little bit, I think, generally speaking, these tops I enjoy teaching more than all of the ones on the bottom 5. But I think, and we mentioned this briefly on the last one, where who we're teaching it to also provides for how much enjoyment can be had.
Agreed.
Sometimes people are easier to teach than others.
Agreed.
So that's just the way it is.
Different interests or whatever.
Yep,
so.
different interests or whatever. That's
Yep.
it. So that's pretty much it. We're going to give you some honorable mentions at the end. So stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get to it. Our top 5 games we enjoy teaching. My number 5 is the second of 2 newer games that I enjoy teaching, and this one really kind of came out of nowhere. Jessie, my wife, visited a game shop in Moscow, Idaho. The owners of the shop, she asked them, do you have any games that you'd like to recommend? And they said, yes, this one right here, Coffee Rush. Coffee Rush is a game that I really enjoy teaching. And I think it's because of the theme. And the theme doesn't necessarily really lend itself well to the teaching, but everybody wants to go out and get their cup of coffee in the morning. Except for, unless you make it at home or whatever.
Make it at home.
Yeah. But coffee is such almost a staple in our society.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a money sink. But yeah,
that too, that too, it can absolutely be. But the theme is so readily available. People, baristas,
Sure.
going to the coffee shop. This is something that everybody, and people have seen the baristas working their butts off to try to get the
putting all the different stuff together.
It makes sense. And so when we talk about the different phases of the game, it all kind of settles in their minds that much easier. And that's why I like making it, teaching the game, because it just makes sense. And it also doesn't take very long to play either. But I just really enjoy teaching this game. And the fact that it has really cool, neat little components for all of the different ingredients just makes the game that much more fun to teach. People are oohing and awing over it before they even start playing.
Yep.
So that's my number 5, Coffee Rush.
My number 5, you get to be your favorite superhero in my number 5. This is from Fantasy Flight Games called Marvel Champions.
Ooh.
I really like teaching this game. Teaching this game typically is best if you're teaching to one person at a time. You don't want to teach a full table typically. Mm-hmm. You want 1 or 2 people if they're really into gaming and stuff like that. That's totally fine. Yeah. But in Marvel Champions, the best part of the teach is you pick your favorite superhero. It doesn't matter if it's Wolverine or I guess all of them, Cyclops or Iron Man or Black Panther or whatever else, Wonder Woman. I don't even know. Is there one? There's no Wonder Woman. No Woman.
Yeah, that's Marvel,
that's
not DC.
Bummer. I want Wonder Woman. Go get him. Anyways, you get to pick your favorite person. You don't have to worry about the deck building. I can say, cool, that's your favorite person. You take the aggression deck because that matches them. I give you 40 cards. You shuffle them up. You turn them down. You draw some cards, and now you're playing. Mm-hmm. In the game, you're bringing out your allies. We're like, who do you dislike the most? Who do you want to fight against? You want to fight against Red Skull or Thanos or the Claw? Whoever you want to fight against, just pick one, and we'll go fight against them. You know what I mean? And I can pull that enemy out of the board. They get their own deck. They have their own rules. They're very thematic. Like if you're playing against Ultron, you know you're going to get swarmed by 1,000 little dudes, 1,000 of his robots. If you're playing against Rhino, trying to stop him as he's trying to run you over is, super impossible. But you get to play this character, and it's got significant depth to the game. The characters are really cool. Iron Man's trying to get his suit together. Black Panther's, trying to charge up and get his gear. Gamora's trying to get swords and, things like that. Star-Lord's getting his guns. It doesn't matter. If you want to play that character, those decks feel very much like those characters. I just love teaching this game. Like, take your person, let's see how we do. And then the next thing you know, they're like, hey, let's do it again. Let's try a different person, a different deck. It's just a very fun, very thematic. I just really like it. Aeon's End, I wanted to put in here. Mel wanted me to put it in here. I put Marvel Champions in here more just because of the fact that people know the superheroes, right? Yeah. And the other one, you're picking a random mage, and the mages are all cool. But in this one, you know
who you are.
You have some background to the game.
Yeah.
So.
That does so much for people's enjoyment initially.
Yes.
Because it just gives them something they're already familiar with.
Yep. And they know that, like, oh, I'm going to play out Nick Fury as my ally. Well, we know who Nick Fury is, Now we just figure out what he does.
Yep, absolutely. So. That's a good pick. All right, my number 4 is another card game. And the cards are oddly shaped because they're representing wine bottles that you're procuring for a client's wine cellar, and that's the name of the game, Wine Cellar. For me, it's fun to teach because of, and again, I'm a thematic person, so sometimes even if the theme doesn't totally make sense, I still might enjoy the game more because of the theme. But this one, they put a little bit of theme into why you're actually stacking these things in, and each of the wine bottles, and I'm getting more into the theme than I should, but each of the wine bottles has a listing from 1 to 8. And those numbers are in different orders based upon how that wine particularly ages. Yep. And that's a really cool, like some are really good when they are young and they kind of decrease a little bit over time and then they get a little bit better at the end of their, and I'm not a wine drinker, so this could be blowing sunshine as far as I know, but that's the theme that's there. Like sometimes... the older wines, they taste much, much better. Some of them are newer. I don't have any clue, but that's the theme that they built into this time frame. And where it's in your wine cellar based upon from top to bottom, top being the newest, bottom being the oldest, that's how much points it's going to score you. So if you're able to put a wine that's kind of in the middle somewhere that also ages around that same way, you're going to be able to score maximum points for that. But it's all about, it almost feels like a trick-taking game, although it's really just a bidding game more than anything else. Type. But anyway, you take a card, all of your cards have a number up at the top, and that becomes your bidding power. So you put it down there, whoever puts out the highest bid gets to choose first out of the market of wines that are down there, and then that wine is put into the wine cellar. And the first one just goes into your wine cellar, and then the subsequent wines have to go either on top of the one you previously placed, or below it. You can't split two apart and stick it in between. So it's just a really fun game to teach, and I've just had a lot of people really enjoy the game. People that are wine drink connoisseurs, I don't want to say, winos, or anything like that, but people who drink wine, people who don't drink wine, that has not mattered. No. They've all enjoyed the game. So I really enjoy teaching this game. It's really, really fun. Wine Cellars, my number 4.
Nice. My number 4 is such a great game. This is from Douglas Hetrick and Inside Up Games. This is called Perch. In Perch, you get a bunch of birds of your color, and you're trying to take over the backyard. Who does not want to control the flock? Right?
I do.
This is the greatest. This is so much fun. The first time you get people out there, you got this whole backyard set up. There's a couple of animals in there. There's an owl and a dog, and you're like, hey, yeah, you can control the owl and the dog and make them scare off other people's birds and do this kind of stuff. But then you're like, okay, you're going to get, on your turn, you're going to get your birds, and then you're going to reach into a bag, and you might get somebody else's birds. So you get to not only place your birds out there on the map, but you get to place other birds out there on other people's birds out there on the map. And this is really what makes this game sing, because you're like, I have one of your birds. Guess what I'm going to do? Like, there's just this constant back and forth as the whole backyard just starts filling up with these flocks of birds. And all of the different locations have different scoring mechanisms. One might score the best points for third place, and so you want to get other people's birds there so you can be in third. One might score good points for first and decent points for third, but no points for second. So there's all these kind of things. You can, if you have control of the dog, you can run down, chase off people's birds. You get little bird houses. You can like cap stacks, and you can lightning bolt people's birds into the fountain. There's just so much fun.
Basically the bird graveyard.
Yep. There's just so much fun to be had in this game, and just setting it out and just letting people start stacking these birds up, and then seeing how the scoring works out sometimes. It's just hilarious.
That's a fun game.
So it is such a fun game. It has a great table presence, and it's pretty exciting the whole way through.
All right, my number 3, a running theme throughout all of these has been games that after the first play, or rather during the first play sometimes, people already make the statement or just go ahead and purchase the game.
Sure.
And this one is definitely one of those ones. I think it's the game that I have taught the most, during which those first plays, people have gone online with their phones and purchased the game right off the bat. This one is called NAR. NAR is a splendidly packaged game, and the reason I put it that way is because it comes in a really small box. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot of game in there, but there is a delightful amount of game in that little box. And the way they have it packaged and all of the different choices you can make, and the artwork is good, and the color ad system is really an ingenious type of way to help help the game be colorblind friendly. There's just a lot of different cool things about the game that I enjoy, but I really enjoy the fact that people take this game and run with it, and it only takes a couple of turns for them to be locked in, ready to go. And the one thing that really kind of takes people by surprise with the game is the fact that how quickly it plays. People hit 40 a lot faster than you think you are, because the first few turns you're going maybe 1 or 2 points, maybe 3 points, maybe 4 points, and then by the time your 5th or 6th turn comes around, you're getting 15 points, not just 1 or 2. And so it's one of those games that kind of really takes off on you, and that's really the only surprise factor. Everything else is pretty well understood and just simple to teach. I really enjoy it a lot. It's my number 3, NAR.
Nice. You really do like that game.
I do.
All right, my number 3 is a game that I really do like. And this is one that I love to teach to any sci-fi fans or any aliens fans. And this is Nemesis.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say for the teach portion of it, Nemesis base, initial Nemesis, is the funnest one to teach. Just because you basically say, you read the little story or tell the little story, hey, you just woke up in the hibernation chamber. One of your comrades is on the ground with a hole in his chest. His pod has been busted open. You're in this spaceship.
Why does he have a hole in his chest, Papa?
I don't know. You're in this spaceship. You're in the hibernation chamber. You just woke up. You don't remember what any of the rooms are. You know where the cockpit is. You know where the engines are. You have a basic thought process of what your ship is, but you're still pretty groggy. So grab your gun and get your thing done. So you give somebody their initial. In that one, you give somebody a couple of objectives that they can have, and they get to keep those hidden to themselves. A couple things that they can do until the first alien comes out. But they know there's aliens on this ship. They know it's going to be a horror, scary.
They don't know what's going on.
You just tell them how noise works, and you give them their deck of cards, and you tell them how their cards go, and you go, okay, let's go. That's all you need as a teach, right? You're just in there. Blind as a bat and scared as a kitten. So this is a fun teach. This is a fun first start of any game. no matter how that game turns out or whatever else, that teach is always exciting.
Yep.
The first few steps out of the hibernation chamber are always exciting. And then when the first alien shows up and starts rampaging through, it's just a super fun game.
Yep.
And I love to teach it. I love to put it on the board. I love the look of it. So
Yep. It's a good one. All right, my number 2 is, currently it is my favorite game of all time, and that is Blood Rage. I love teaching Blood Rage. It is not an easy game to grasp on your first go. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I enjoy teaching it to new people, because I can hold back. I cannot play Bloodthirsty in Blood Rage and just be interested in, me, myself. I'm not saying that
I heard you
wouldn't.
say that. I've watched you teach this to people.
I do hold
and
back.
beat them by 300 points.
No, I've never scored 300 points before. Here's the thing. I teach people how to play the game. And the thing is that if you have, for example, if I have 3 people that know how to play Blood Rage and then one person that doesn't, I hate situations like that, because the likelihood of that one person having the chance of doing well is super low, because the other 3 people are not going to be able to hold back. And even if one of them wants to hold back, they're going to be like, but I really don't want to let him get that card, because, and it's like they just don't hold back. But if I'm teaching 3 brand new people how to play, I get to control, I guess you could say, maybe I'm a control freak.
You are a control freak.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I get to control the flow of information. Like, for example, I'm not just going to play a card and totally wreck somebody's world and have them thinking, well, how in the world did he do that? And if somebody else is about to play something and they're playing it in such a way that they're not going to be able to get the most value out of that play, I'm going to say, hey, what you're doing is a good idea, but if you wait a turn and do this first, you're going to get, 10 more points if you do that. I can control that type of information, and I can teach people not just the how, but the why. And I enjoy doing that, and I usually can only do it in games that I know as well as I know Blood Rage. I really enjoy it. He hates the game, but I really enjoy it. I love teaching it as well, and I've taught it a lot. It's my number 2, Blood Rage.
Cheers.
Silence is deafening.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if the new Blood Rage of Valhalla makes it better.
We'll see. All right.
I spent enough money on it. It better make it better. All right. Don't spit coffee on the table.
Not mid slurp, dude. You can't say that.
All right. My number 2 is a guilty pleasure to teach, because I don't know if anybody else loves it as much as I do, but I still want to teach it to people, because putting the Reckoners on the table, telling the story of the Reckoners, seeing that big steel heart out there. This is the evil Superman, and we've got to defeat him. And all of these epics have their own little powers and their own little districts, and you're this poor human that has to go up against them. This game is a blast on the table. Yeah. I have so much fun with this. You give people these really cool characters and all of the abilities and all of the things, or all of the gear and stuff like that you can collect, makes really cool. But this is a dice chucker, right? You get a whole handful of dice that are your character's color, what your character's good at, and you're rolling those to take out the minions, or to knock out barricades, or to investigate the weaknesses of the epics, which are the mini bads, or to fight the epics. Like, you're doing all of these kind of things. Your characters are really cool. The way that the game plays out, the theme of, like I said, going after Steelheart, you have to defeat a bunch of these minor epics so that you can learn Steelheart's weakness. Think of it as you beat one of them. He tells you a little bit you get some kind of a clue, and you knock down Steelheart's, information a little bit until you get all the information. Then you can start beating on his health. This is one where the end of the game is either you take out Steelheart or he takes you out, or you fail, right? So And the whole time, like, they're trying to take out your population. You start out with so many people in the city, and as you do things, they're wiping out the people of the city that you're trying to protect. So I really like this game. The table presence is really cool. All the little pieces, you know, this game is all set up in game trays, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I just like teaching this game. I like playing this game. I like seeing people get involved with their characters and what they can do. So that's my number 2, The Reckoners.
That's a good game. It's one
Guilty
that
pleasure for me.
It's one that I think is super hard to beat, but this guy says he wins 88% of the time or something like
probably.
that. Man,
At least 75%.
he's a good player. That's the long and the short of it. All right, my number 1 is the one that I have probably enjoyed teaching the most, and it was actually one that I taught at a convention for 3 days, in and out. About 7 hours each day, so 21 hours teaching the ART project, the art project. I really enjoy this game. I think this one is my number 1 because I enjoy the theme, first of all, and second of all, I also enjoy the fact that it's a cooperative game. I think to an extent, cooperative games can be more fun to teach.
Sure.
Because you don't have to worry about people worrying about competing with one another.
Agreed.
We're all working together against the game, and that makes the teach much more enjoyable because you're not trying to tell people how they are specifically or individually going to be able to try to win the game. You're telling them this is how we are going to win the game together. And it just makes it more of an enjoyable teach. And I really enjoyed seeing people who did not know each other, weren't part of the same kind of group that was just traveling around to these different things and playing all this, you know, all the same people playing the same game together. It was people coming in who had signed up for a shift, basically, of learning how to play art project from all different walks of life. And they all came together and they worked together. It's probably been one of my most memorable convention experiences ever, because it was so fun to be able to come into contact with so many different people and have that really fun connection playing a game together.
Yeah,
just really fun, really fun. It's my number 1, the art or the ART project.
Right on. All right, my number 1. It's for my trick takers out there and for my non-trick takers out there. I don't care. I'm going to teach you the crew. I have taught the crew Mission Deep Sea. I take it everywhere. I take it all over the place. I don't. This is a trick taker, very specifically, and part of the reason what you said actually was, and there was more trick takers that I had thought of, and I put 2 on here, which was enough. But this was a trick taker that, because you're playing cooperatively, and because the rule is you can't talk, so what if we talk the first couple of rounds? You've never played trick-taking games before. Yeah. I can teach you. We can talk through why and how and what like that. But people just start, it just, you know, whether you're a trick taker, if you're a trick taker, you know, you're just like firing, you start firing really quick. You're just like, oh yeah, I see it. And if you're not a trick taker, it only takes a couple of rounds. You're like, oh, I see it. You know, I play this with my 10-year-old son. And he's really good at it. So it's such a fun game. I love to put it on the table. I can play it with anybody. You can sit down and be like, hey, let's try to play the crew. You know, all we have to do is this simple thing, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yep.
You got to know there's some submarines out there that can beat anything. And other than that, play in the suit and let's go. Yep. So, and it doesn't take long to get into it. The first hand is you're playing it. The first hand as you're teaching it, and then you're cruising from there. I really love teaching the crew. I honestly don't know if there's been any groups or any person that I haven't or that hasn't enjoyed this. I know quite a few people that have bought it off of the place, but between this one and the first one, because I've played both of them for so long. But anyways, I love teaching the crew. It is my favorite trick taker to teach.
I was expecting Fellowship of the Ring. Do you like teaching that? You like teaching the crew better because it doesn't have the theme?
Yeah, Yeah, for sure.
It's harder to teach because of the theme, I would imagine.
The
Fellowship.
Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, it's harder to see the trick taking in Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
For sure. This one you don't have any that extraneous stuff to deal with. You just flip a couple cards. These are our objectives. You got to get the three, and somebody's got to win 2 9s, and that's all that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So,
understood.
Yep.
All right. Well, we said we were going to talk about some of our
Honorable
mentions. I had a whole bunch left because we only talk about 4, and so I'm just going to list mine. When I was working for Mythic Games way back, Super Fantasy Brawl, I got to teach a ton at conventions and online and all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed teaching that. It was a great game.
Still a great game.
Simon still has the rights for this one, I think. So
do.
We'll see what happens with that. Memoir 44 is a game I've really enjoyed teaching over the years. Horrified, another cooperative game. Really enjoyed teaching Horrified. Small World, not cooperative, but still very, very much an enjoyable game to teach. Flamecraft and Critter Kitchen, both. I enjoy both of those. And then Forges of Ravenshire. I've really enjoyed teaching that one as well. But those are the rest of the ones that I could have possibly put on my list. But the ones that did make my list, I have much more experience teaching all of them. So.
Yeah, I had some. Well, I talked about on the last one a couple of Euros that I like to teach, Dune Imperium and Viticulture, just because of the way the mechanics are and the way that the themes are.
Yeah.
Now the Trick Taker is the Fox in the Forest, or more so the Fox in the Forest duet. I've taught that to a lot of different people because it's a cooperative and it's just you and one person. It's easy to teach and they enjoy it.
Isn't Fox in the Forest a 2-player game anyway?
Yeah.
Why'd they make a duet out of it then?
The duet's cooperative. Fox in the Forest is competitive.
Gotcha. Understood.
So the duet's the first one you teach, unless you're playing against a really good trick taker.
Okay.
I love teaching Hive. I love Hive. I love dropping all those tiles out of there with all the bugs and just telling them all the exciting things that the bugs can do and watching their brains explode as we played chess on this Hive board, right? Type of thing. I love that one. And a couple of that I don't have. I had quite a big list, but and then a couple of party games that I like to teach. One is No Thanks. No Thanks takes one turn around and people are like, oh no, I only have this many chips. Like it clicks in really quick and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be crazy. No Thanks is one. So Clover's one. I love teaching So Clover too. Doesn't matter how the people are, whatever else, you can just do one of these. If you got a bunch of new people, you do one, you flop it out there, you give them the clues and you're like, okay, figure this out. And then they're like, bam, 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 and then they want to do it. And it just propagates. So I like teaching both of those as well. So,
well, that's cool. All right. Well, that is our top 5 games we enjoy teaching or we love teaching. And you can go over and check out our bottom 5 over on the Dice Tower. There's a link in the description below. You can follow that. But before you do that, give us a like and subscribe here. Hit that bell icon so we can let you know when we have more videos out for you to perusal. And we will thank you for it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Make sure you're teaching people games.
Yes.
Or learning them or playing them. All those things are valid.
You got to learn it before you can teach it.